Tonight, Regina libraries are changing their operating hours. A major drug and firearm bust in Regina. And a successful year for SaskTel despite several hurdles.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. Changes are coming to the hours of operation for all Regina Public Library branches. Now, some will open for the day a few minutes later or close a little later or earlier. But as Wayne Mantika tells us, all 11 branches will now operate 7 days a week.
It's the first significant revision to library hours in recent years and follows a study into usage patterns.
So we did a lot of looking at customers, how they used our spaces, looking at our data. So that's like how many times people are coming through our spaces, when are our books being checked out.
Major branches like the Downtown Central Library will now open for the day a few minutes later and close a few minutes earlier on some days. Operating hours saved will be redirected to opening Sunday mornings.
We have made some changes that we hope and we believe will be really supportive to our communities and how they use our locations. So that means some of our larger locations, George Bothwell, Sunrise, and Sherwood Village, all have additional evenings and additional hours on Saturdays and Sundays.
Some smaller branches like Connaught will no longer open on any evening, but will join all others in being open 7 days a week. Many library patrons believe the new hours will work better for them.
I like the changes for the most part, but the hours, for some, may not like it.
I for sure usually like to study on Sunday, and I find that if I get an earlier start, then it really just increases my ability to make sure that I get everything done and I'm super productive, because I find if I wait till about afternoon, I'm not quite as productive.
The changes to library hours won't save money or add additional costs. Combined operating hours system-wide will be the same. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
A Regina man is facing 29 charges after the Regina Police Service seized a large amount of firearms and drugs. On June 18th, officers searched a residence on the 3200 block of Aaron's Road and 2 vehicles, and they seized about $150,000 worth of drugs, 4.2 kilograms of meth, about half a kilogram of fentanyl, and a small amount of cocaine. They also seized 3 handguns, 2 semi-automatic rifles, a shotgun, body armor, and lots of ammunition. 43-year-old Andrew James Pittman made his first court appearance last Friday. A 32-year-old man from Saskatoon was also charged in connection with this investigation with trafficking a controlled substance and property obtained by crime. Investigators are happy to get these drugs and guns off the street, saying especially the firearms, that they're dealing with illegal guns. It's becoming a bit of a common occurrence.
It's reasonable that we're coming across them every day. And so it's not out of the realm to believe that now with these higher sophisticated people that are moving them, that there's going to be higher numbers and we're going to have bigger hauls, so to speak, as far as seizures are concerned.
Treadhart added that there is not particularly one source where the guns and drugs are coming from, pointing to other parts of the country and the United States. A group of advocates dropped off testimonials today from the community at the Regina Public School office about the impact of Bill 137. Also known as the Parents' Bill of Rights, the provincial law includes a policy that kids under 16 cannot change their names or pronouns at school without parental consent. The group is hoping the letters can persuade school board trustees to replace the policy at the division level, dropping them off as students wrap up another school year in Regina.
It is actively and very dangerously harming Two-Spirit and trans youth within our province. I think if we move kind of down from there, it doesn't respect treaty rights. There wasn't consultation by teachers, by students that are experiencing the bill.
Now, in response to this event, Regina Public Schools says it takes great pride in offering a safe, inclusive, and welcoming learning environment for students, adding its policies are designed to align with provincial legislation and policy requirements. Bill 137 is also the subject of an upcoming Supreme Court case surrounding the province's use of the notwithstanding clause in its passage, but a hearing date has not been set. Regina students are officially out for the summer, and those backpacks finally getting a break. Classrooms quiet as kids trade homework for sunshine and summer activities. Schools wrapped up the year with celebrations and goodbyes. Now it's all about summer camps, vacations, and making the most out of the weeks ahead. Yes, Sabine, they're all hoping for sunshine. So the first official day for most students is tomorrow of summer. Are they going to get that sunshine?
They'll get the sunshine.
Oh.
There is a lot of sunshine expected, but similar to what we experienced today, Lee, depending on where you were in the city, blue skies or rain. A lot of heavy rain that fell for a short amount of time. We saw scattered precipitation through many parts of Saskatchewan, including here in Regina, but we did warm up into the 20s today, warmed up to about 21 degrees late this afternoon. The average is about 24, so we're going to continue to see similar temperatures like that as we head into tomorrow. And then we do have some more rain returning, and that's not till the weekend. So we do have a couple of clear and sunny days ahead, but like I said, it'll be a little similar to what we saw today in terms of that scattered precipitation arriving late in the afternoon, but I will have all the details coming up in your full forecast.
Thank you very much, Sabine. SaskTel continues to navigate a challenging time as a number of forces work against the telecom and continue to impact its bottom line. Keenan Sorokon has more on the issues that are facing the Crown Corporation.
SaskTel has some hurdles to navigate with cord-cutting, fierce competition, and regulators biting into its bottom line.
We're going to take a look at whatever can be done to protect the investment that the people of this province have made.
In its annual report, the telecommunications company saw nearly 4,000 customers ditch TV as online services continue to affect its legacy customers. Changes to its cable packages helped increase revenue, but on the cell phone side, SaskTel says increased competition from low-cost carriers like Freedom Mobile and a willingness from customers to jump to other companies is affecting bigger growth. And as AI helps drive customers consuming more data, the company says its towers can handle the load.
Significant investment in both our wireless and our fiber networks, so we will have the capacity at this point to support it.
SaskTel's fiber internet gained more than 25,000 customers, but it says a ruling from the federal regulator to allow internet companies to use a competitor's infrastructure unfairly targets SaskTel rather than the large companies it was meant to.
It's unfortunate that they've lumped us in with the big three because we are so different. We've talked about the fact that we have a big geographic area to cover with relatively fewer customers, so the economies of scale are a challenge.
With that ruling from the CRTC, SaskTel is spending millions laying fiber internet in places like Choiceland or Canistano and sharing that infrastructure with competitors who likely would have avoided rural areas.
You know, that decision will allow others to come into this province and resell the fiber that we've invested in.
With debt increasing and everything from regulators to low-cost competitors shifting the market, SaskTel will have to look elsewhere to avoid further disruptions. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Patients, caregivers, and healthcare professionals gathered in Saskatoon for an in-depth education session about bladder cancer. One of multiple events held across the country by Bladder Cancer Canada. Clinical experts and people with lived experiences shared their stories and raised awareness about the disease. The organization says 37 Canadians are diagnosed with bladder cancer every day, or 13,400 a year.
We want to make sure that patients everywhere around Canada and then also around the world are aware of the signs and symptoms. Also, bladder cancer is the 5th most common cancer in Canada. It's the 9th most common cancer worldwide. So I feel like people don't discuss it enough.
Bladder cancer is the most expensive cancer, according to the organizations, to treat on a per-patient basis. The most common symptom is blood in your urine. The official portrait of former Lieutenant Governor Russ Mirasty was unveiled at the Saskatchewan Legislature today. Russ Mirasty became the province's 23rd lieutenant governor in July of 2019. He was the first Indigenous person to serve in the role. He initially represented Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth and then King Charles. Mirasty served 36 years with the RCMP and retired with the rank of assistant commissioner in charge of all of Saskatchewan. Mirasty said he is humbled and honored to see the portrait and is amazed at his journey, which began as a small boy from the Lac La Ronge Indian Band in northern Saskatchewan.
And I do hope that when people look at the portrait, they look at more than just the picture, that they think about who the person is, where they came from, and especially young people, young Indigenous people more specifically, would look at that and say, he's one of us.
Mirasty's Indigenous heritage was honored with a performance by the Buffalo Boys Drum Group for Mother Teresa Middle School in Regina.
Still ahead, the funerals for the 2 men killed in Montreal by a gunman. Plus, what are the next steps for the federal government to push forward the first major projects approved?
In Montreal, several celebrations canceled out of respect for the victims of Monday's deadly shooting. A memorial is being built at the site in a neighborhood where a police officer and an innocent bystander were killed. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver is in Montreal with today's funerals and the ongoing investigation.
In Montreal's Côte-de-Neige neighborhood, there are few signs of Saint Jean-Baptiste Day celebrations. The district is quiet and many activities are canceled, signs of a community in mourning.
I feel just like that, I don't have a lot of energy. I just feel that I wanted to see by myself what I've missed from the inside and wanted to get my things.
Robin Cote witnessed Monday's shooting. Today, on his day off, he came back to the scene to pay his respects.
They put their lives on the line for everyone, and I believe the policeman he saved some people, some of my colleagues that got in the middle of the shootings.
The victims of that shooting laid to rest today. Bystander 68-year-old Michel Moshe Mizrahi was remembered as a devoted father and a pillar of Montreal's Jewish community who died a hero.
He didn't just leave the scene. He stayed and he asked other people to run away, to escape, to find refuge.
The big heart, always positive and always joking, always smiling.
Later today, a private funeral will be held for Constable Mohamed Namin Ben Khadouane. He was one of the first to arrive on scene and had been with the Montreal Police Force since 2021. For those who live and work nearby, the trauma is still very real.
I've never been in an environment post in this situation like I was today. So it's very traumatic, actually, and now that I'm speaking about it, it's actually coming out even more emotional.
Although the police tape is gone and the scene is slowly being cleared, this investigation is still in its early stages, with investigators here again today looking for information that can help explain how and why this tragedy happened. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Montreal.
The federal government has unveiled the first 3 infrastructure projects considered key in a national interest, and they could come with fast-tracking privileges, but nothing has the green light yet. Abigail Beeman reports on what those initiatives are and why they're at the top of the list.
The Building Canada Act bill.
That bill got royal assent after the government called it urgent. 1 year later, today in Yellowknife, the same government said it's considering using it.
We're marking a major milestone. For the first time, the Government of Canada is initiating the process to potentially list projects under the landmark Building Canada Act.
3 projects are on the table: the Grays Bay Port and Road in Nunavut, the Mackenzie Valley Highway in the Northwest Territories, and, new to the major projects list today, a nuclear waste site in Northern Ontario.
We're going to need to build big things again, both quickly and responsibly, in partnership with Indigenous peoples.
The Major Projects Office, it's kind of like the Gordie Howe Bridge. We see that it's there, but it's not operating as intended, and no one will tell us why.
Conservatives say the announcement should have happened a year ago.
The rhetoric coming from the Carney government and the action are 2 different things.
while 14 First Nations are suing the federal government over the Building Canada Act legislation and Ontario for its similar Bill 5.
I'm shocked that the public isn't in outrage over this. These are authoritarian acts.
The lawyer representing the First Nations says any consultation the feds are promising is lip service.
Can tweak around the edges. So we're going to do this thing regardless, is what they're saying. We'll consult with you, but we predetermine the outcome. So how meaningful is that?
Government officials said consultations on the 3 projects will begin shortly. The goal is for Cabinet to decide if they are in the national interest in the fall. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
In the Middle East, Oman says it has temporarily reopened the Strait of Hormuz. They say 2 routes have been destined to allow vessels to pass safely through the critical waterway. Oil prices were down today. They've been fluctuating as traffic through the strait remains restricted. And officials say at least 50 people have died in France during an ongoing heat wave that is gripping Western Europe. The extreme temperatures have disrupted power supplies, shut schools and culture landmarks. And forecasters warn the weather could last until the end of the week. The UK recorded its highest temperature ever for the month of June today. It reached 36.1 degrees in southern England. The mercury hit 40.9 degrees in Paris, a record there for June as well.
Coming up, a young woman's star power in flag football has earned her a scholarship down south.
Welcome back. We're going to take a look at what you can expect for your forecast heading into the next few days and even what's to come for the weekend. So if you were in Regina today or still are in Regina today, would have seen some scattered precipitation, some rain in the south and the north, downtown. Scattered precipitation really across Saskatchewan today. Temperatures, though, quite nice. We warmed up to about 21 degrees late this afternoon in the Regina area. Currently 17 with the winds at 15 kilometers an hour. So this is what we're looking at in terms of that scattered precipitation. We're starting to see some of that rain coming through. No weather statements in Saskatchewan. We do have some weather statements in Manitoba, southern Manitoba, where they're seeing conditions favorable for the development of funnel clouds. In Alberta, the special weather statement is regarding rainfall. So between Friday and Sunday, could see up to 60 millimeters of rain in this particular area in Alberta. And of course, we know a lot of those systems make their way into Saskatchewan. And we are expecting some rainfall for the weekend. I'll talk more about that coming up right now, actually. So heading into this evening, we'll start to see a lot of that precipitation clear out. And first thing tomorrow morning, starting the day for most of Saskatchewan, pretty clear conditions. A little bit of that cloud cover in the southwest. And it's not till we get into late afternoon we start to see a little bit more of that scattered rain throughout parts of Prince Albert, the Parkland, even some areas in the southeast there. That system will clear out again by the time we start Friday morning. Clear conditions, but the southwest seeing a little bit more of that cloud cover. Once again, though, late afternoon, we could see some scattered precipitation in parts of southern Saskatchewan, primarily in the Parkland and even a little in the southwest around the Maple Creek area. But it's not until we get into Saturday, Friday night into Saturday. Now, these systems don't look that serious, but we've got a lot of rainfall coming through. They're quick-moving systems, but heavy rainfall expected in particular in parts around the Swift Current area, Saskatoon, and this rain is expected to continue into Saturday and Sunday. So between now and to Thursday, it doesn't really look like we've got a lot to deal with. Estevan could see up to about 2 millimeters of rain. From now into Friday morning, still looking okay, but it's not until Friday night into Saturday morning that we see that heavy rainfall arrive. Over 25 millimeters expected for Swift Current and for Saskatoon, over 15 for Moose Jaw, 15 for Maple Creek. Close to 10 for Regina, but again, this is Saturday by noon. We're going to see rain continuing throughout the day Saturday into Sunday as well. So something to keep in mind for your weekend plans. Temperatures, though, for tomorrow, we're back into seasonal range, if not a little warmer. 27 in a mix of sun and cloud for La Loche, 25 for Lloydminster and Larange, 24 mainly sunny for Prince Albert, 26 and mainly sunny for North Battleford. Saskatoon seeing a little bit more sunshine, 23 degrees, and 23 in a mix of sun and cloud for Yorkton, the southwest. northwest back into the mid-20s, 24 degrees, seeing a little bit more sunshine compared to what we've been dealing with over the last few days. And then southeast, same story, low to mid-20s for our daytime highs. So back into that seasonal range. Same story for Regina, sorry. Mostly clear conditions tonight, winds at 15 kilometers an hour. Tomorrow warming up to about 23 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud, winds picking up to about 30 kilometers an hour. But again, we'll have a few nice days. Oh, the logo didn't move. Okay, well, the good news is I heard a deep sigh from Lee. This is on Friday, okay? And the good news is we don't have to worry about rain on Friday. Mainly sunny conditions. 25 is the expected daytime high. Let's just pretend this isn't here because I know I'm going to get emails. I know the game is Friday, okay? This should be on Friday. Expecting rain throughout Saturday, Sunday, and by Sunday, we're going to see those winds picking up, gusting up to 60 kilometers an hour for Sunday and Monday. Temperatures at 19 for the daytime high, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, we're back into seasonal range with those temperatures back into the 20s. And real quick note, I do want to mention on Saturday in particularly that we're expecting to see quite heavy rainfall, up to about 20-25 millimeters of rain expected on Saturday alone. So the first weekend after the school's out for summer for kids, probably not looking the best, but we still have warmer temperatures ahead.
Well, that's hopeful, but you don't have snow on Friday.
I've heard there's a prairie blizzard, but as of right now, it might just start with some sunshine.
All right.
Don't forget to wear your white.
Wear your white at the Rider game. Thank you, Sabine.
You bet.
Hey, a surprise announcement on a Saskatoon football field is helping one local athlete turn years of hard work into a major opportunity. Flag football standout Ella Sowden has been awarded a U.S. scholarship as she prepares to continue her career. Carla Shinkaruk has her story.
It's my pleasure to present Ella Sowden with the International Scholarship for Flag Football. So, Ella?
This was the moment Ella Sowden found out she'd be getting a life-changing scholarship for flag football.
Definitely a big surprise. Did not expect this.
The flag football standout has been awarded a U.S. scholarship through the RCX Sports Foundation and the NFL, recognizing top flag football athletes globally.
She's a leader. She's just a daily grinder. She works hard in the gym, on the field, and then provides leadership to our next generation of female athletes.
Sowden has spent the last 2 years at the Institute of Saskatchewan Football while also representing Team Saskatchewan at Nationals in 2025 and 2026. The recognition is earned according to her coaches.
She's just always wanting to better herself and learn and grow and improve, so it's something that is you don't see that in kids often. It's just always having that effort.
Flag football continues to grow across Canada and around the world with more opportunities at the college level and coming up at the Olympics.
To have a role model like that and somebody that our future girls can look up to and see that these opportunities are there for somebody from Saskatoon to really play on the international stage.
The scholarship helps open the door for her academic and athletic career, and she plans to give back to her home province too.
During summer and stuff, I'll definitely come back here because school will end, and hopefully I can help out at the Institute or just around in the football community. It would be great, and definitely giving back to what's brought me to this point.
Congratulations.
The women in the past who have played football, coached football, that's not been for nothing, and that's really been paving the way and has set the foundation for an opportunity like this for Ella.
She's heading to Kentucky to study sports management, joining the Blue Raiders flag football program there. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Still ahead, Canada loses to Switzerland at the World Cup, but still punches their ticket to the knockout round.
Your Morning Minute, presented by Cockwell Group.
Keep it quiet until it's done, an adage that in many avenues, including farmland realty. Ted Cockwell joins us. Ted, why would someone considering selling the farm want to keep that information confidential?
You know, when people first phone us, they're usually just dipping a toe in the water and feeling things out. They want to know what their farm is worth, how long it would take to sell, what the process is like, and so they want to keep our conversations confidential. They're not certain that they're going to sell yet in most cases.
Perfect. And obviously, prospective prospective sellers can explore them confidentially with you?
Absolutely. We take confidentiality very seriously. All the conversations we have with our clients are confidential.
Thanks, Ted. If you're thinking of selling or buying, visit your experts in the field. TheCockwellGroup.com in Your Morning Saskatchewan airs weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. on CTV and Crave.
A historic moment in Canadian soccer today. The men's team facing Switzerland in their final group game at the World Cup. With a win or draw, they would get first place in the group.
He's trying to get into and prevents it. Here's an opportunity for Mbolo on the edge of the box. And now it's Manzambi. Crepeau can't keep it out, and Switzerland double their lead.
2 goals by the Swiss early in the second half gave them a 2-0 lead. Canada would get within 1. A great cross here to Promise David, and the sub volley hits it home. Great little finish. Unfortunately, Canada could not complete the comeback. They lose 2-1 to the Swiss. So Switzerland gets first place in the group. Canada ties Bosnia-Herzegovina with 4 points. However, because they have a better goal differential, Canada gets second, and they qualify for the knockout round for the first time ever, where they will play the second-place team from Group A. Bosnia-Herzegovina, by the way, will likely advance as one of the top 8 third-place teams with 4 points, but we're not going to know that until later this week. Now, Scotland's famous soccer fans, known as the Tartan Army, have piped their way into Miami for today's game versus Brazil, and with them came a cherished historical object. This is the world's oldest known soccer ball, believed to be about 500 years old. It's on display at a Miami area museum found in Stirling Castle in a bedroom once used by Mary, Queen of Scots. The centuries-old ball is made of thick leather panels with a pig's bladder forming its inner core.
Yeah, well, this is really a unique opportunity. It's the first time ever in America that we are presenting the oldest soccer ball in the world.
Didn't help, though. Scotland lost to Brazil, who earned first place in the pool. Scotland now, they finished third, and they must see if their 3 points and -4 goal differential will be good enough to move on. Not too sure about that. So tonight at 7 o'clock, it'll be Group A wrapping up. Mexico, who have already clinched first in the group, will play Czechia, who is in need of a win to qualify for the knockout rounds. That game is on TSN 1, 4, and 5, while on TSN 2, South Korea plays South Africa. A draw or win would clinch a knockout round spot for South Korea, giving them second place, which would then give them a knockout round meeting with Canada. So if South Korea gets a win or draw, mark them down to face Canada in a round of 32. Rider running back A.J. Ouellette listed as a non-participant at today's practice for the second day in a row. He's now listed as doubtful for Friday's game against the Argos. Donovan Mace has more on who's next in line at tailback.
A major blow to the Saskatchewan Roughrider run game.
It's second and long. Why not run the ball when you have A.J. Ouellette?
As A.J. Ouellette is the latest star to go down with an injury and is doubtful to play this week.
It's trending in the right direction, no doubt, but still trending, I would say. Just get him eye level today. Nothing serious, obviously.
Ouellette going down in Saturday's win over Calgary late in the third quarter.
There's Ouellette with the limp.
But Saskatchewan is no stranger to having their starting tailback out of the lineup. In 2024, Ouellette missing several weeks with a hip injury, and last year was out a short time with a concussion.
Still really early in the season, obviously, but ultimately the player's body will decide that.
Meaning everyone is prepared to step in.
We already go over a lot of stuff with the O-line, so yeah, I guess I just doubled up on that a little bit. And the mental part of it is just staying focused and staying calm the entire time.
And that includes Rider rookie Kalai Conley, who could make his first CFL start Friday. The Arizona University product signing in Saskatchewan at the beginning of the preseason after a short stint with Montreal and even some time in the NFL.
You don't know when your number is called, so like just staying ready through if you want scout team, just do indie, just act like you're the guy and like make sure you Like, that's your mentality.
If it goes down to that and, he gets a shot to go, he's been around long enough now to understand. But like I said, we'll see with AJ.
And while hopeful Ouellette won't be out long-term, Saskatchewan did add American depth at running back Wednesday.
Off and running, Star Thomas.
Signing former Tennessee Volunteer Star Thomas, who rushed for nearly 600 yards and 7 touchdowns in 13 games with Tennessee last season. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Thomas gets the edge.
And welcome to another edition of X's and O's with Wes Cates. And Wes, it could be a high-scoring game at Mosaic Stadium as the Toronto Argos and the Saskatchewan Roughriders are the top 2 scoring teams right now in the CFL. Let's talk Riders defense first. They're facing Chad Kelly, who is the new gunslinger in town. 7 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions. He's going to sling it no matter what. So how do you approach a quarterback like that?
Yeah, I think the only thing I'm worried about with the Riders is they've had a little bit of injury. The injury bug has hit them a bit with a couple of DBs being out. We'll see how that plays. I know they've got a whole week to kind of prepare and get the secondary ready, so that's a good thing. But Chad Kelly, he's been slinging it all over the yard. They really haven't been running much. They do have a couple of scat backs that they tend to maybe throw the ball to a bit, but they're airing that thing out. I mean, Chad Kelly's averaging well over 400 yards a game in these first couple, and they have a few receivers. Kevin Mattel, he ended up leading the league or tied for the league with 102 catches last year. Yeah. And he's a big. He kind of reminds me of a Canadian Nick Lewis, right? He's like 6 foot 225 on a good day. He's probably closer to 230, and he's just big and quick and understands how to get open. So he's been a tough guard, and he's one of the top receivers just behind KSB for receiving yards and really getting off to a good start. They've got other guys that they've gotten the ball to. Kelly's really been spreading around, but he has been turnover prone. So I think just getting him off his spot and just playing, assignment football in the back end, and he'll probably give a couple of balls to the defense.
Yeah, we'll see if Tavon Campbell can jump on another one of those Chad Kelly passes. And they need to get to Kelly, though. Only 3 sacks in the first 2 games. Riders got to pick up on their rush. As for their offense, I mean, your attack of Schaefer, Baker, Johnson, and Emelis is destructive. It is deadly to face them. Yeah. But with a possible Ouellette out, what do they need to do to get the running game going? Because, we've seen that he can do it, Thomas Bertrand, but it just seemed they couldn't get going on the right foot after Ouellette left.
Yeah, sometimes things like this actually, Lee, can help the running game get going because teams obviously understand that A.J. Ouellette is a great running back, so they probably go into the game trying to stop the Riders' run game first, and if they get the ball in the air, every defense kind of wants to just make an offense one-dimensional. So I think the great thing about it is that the Riders have been slinging it around. Every receiver's been getting open. So I think just to see if Quali Conley can get the ball, get things going. He's a little bit different style of back. He's more of a slasher, so he might break some big runs. I know in the preseason he really surprised the offense. He's one of those guys that gets a few more yards than you expect him to get. He hits the pile, and all of a sudden he pops out the other side for a few more. So I think just getting him going, maybe trying to get him some touches, see if he's comfortable early, might help the run game get going.
Yeah, and Connolly, as Corey Mace told me yesterday, he understands the blocking schemes, and that's going to be important. You got to keep Trevor Harris upright, because if you give him time to hit the trifecta of receivers they got going, they're going to be scoring a lot. We're going to find out how much is scored in that game next week on another edition of X's and O's.
X's and O's, brought to you by Campion College at the University of Regina.
And the Saskatchewan Roughriders say their 25-26 fiscal year ended with increased spending and a bit of a financial loss. The team says costs increased after several areas, including team operations, travel, and merchandise tied to the title run. They also pointed to a postponed home game in July, which led to added ticket office costs and fan compensation. The team says those factors contributed to what it calls exceptional items in an otherwise strong season.
When you have a successful year like we did on the field, you're going to see revenue growth, which is what we saw. But when you have the ultimate success of winning the Grey Cup, you're also going to have some expenditure growth as well. And then obviously we had the postponed game in July, which had a pretty significant impact. But for us, that was just about doing the right thing for our fans.
The franchise's financials were independently audited by KPMG.
Still ahead, Country Thunder cancels its event in Alberta.
Here's what's happening in our community. Moose Jaw's Western Development Museum's 50th anniversary is happening on June 26th at 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. at 50 Diefenbaker Drive in Moose Jaw. Admission is free, but donations are welcome. And defy gravity at Drop Zone on August 22nd. Drop Zone is calling for participants to register now. Be a real-life superhero and raise funds to support Easter Seal Saskatchewan. Spots are limited. Register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen. Hey, thanks, Sabine, for that, our community update. We're going to take a look at your rural forecast now into what's looking like a very sunny day in many parts of rural Saskatchewan tomorrow, and temperatures back into that seasonal range of the low to mid 20s for many areas, including areas like Melfort and Watrous. 23 tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions. 22 and a mix of sun and cloud for Wynyard. 24 and a mix of sun and cloud for Outlook, Spiritwood, Meadow Lake and Hudson Bay. 26 for Kindersley, and mainly sunny, and 25 for Lloydminster. Closer to the southern border, we're going to see those temperatures pretty much the exact same. Southeast, 22 degrees for Broadview, Carlisle, 23 for Pilot Butte, Lumsden and Kenora, and for Assiniboia, 25 for Rosetown, 22 for Rockland and East End Cypress, Maple Creek and Coronach, 24 degrees, and Leader, a mix of sun and cloud, and 26 degrees. A closer look at Theodore tomorrow, mainly sunny conditions, starting the day out with a lot of sunshine, warming up to 22 degrees. There is a very low risk of an isolated thunderstorm in the area later in the afternoon, but for most of the day we're expecting sunny conditions and 22 degrees.
Up in Saskatoon, city councillors were busy with a vote that could reshape the future of the downtown entertainment district. Laura Woodward has more.
This changes the game.
Saskatoon City Council approved entering into negotiations with Muskeg Lake Cree Nation, exploring a potential partnership on a downtown arena, convention center, and entertainment district.
This is an opportunity with an Indigenous partner who comes to the table with significant investment opportunity.
Chief Kelly Wolf says Muskeg Lake Cree Nation brings a strong track record in Saskatoon, a net worth of more than $100 million, and a vision.
Imagine Saskatoon being home to a professional hockey team.
And partnering with the First Nation could be a financial asset.
It opens doors to federal grants, federal opportunities that we may have access to that we're willing to share with the project.
City administration says it makes sense to go directly to Muskeg Lake Cree Nation instead of opening it up to a broader competitive process.
It almost felt like it would be disingenuous, because if it's going to lead to the same end result, then it really isn't a good procurement approach.
Councillor Rob Pierce wondered whether going directly to Muskeg Lake Cree Nation could mean missing other opportunities.
This is the largest development deal, if I'm not mistaken. This is the largest thing we've ever seen in our history coming to the table.
Councillor Randy Donauer reminded council the city already tried to attract private partners.
Anybody that's out there that now says they want in, man, we were begging people, come to the table, submit a bid. That didn't work. Now we have a partner that wants to do business with us.
Discover Saskatoon says the city risks falling behind other places if it doesn't move.
There are events we can't even bid on because we don't have the space and configuration to hold them. So they go to Halifax, to Edmonton, to Winnipeg, cities that built the room to say yes.
The vote for Saskatoon to continue negotiating with Muskeg Lake was unanimous. City officials stressed no money has been committed, no deal has been reached, and any big decision would have to be approved by council. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
An iconic staple at the Saskatoon X is not going to return this year. It's announced Spud Nuts not going to be available. Officials say the decision was tough and was made after a review of the operational requirements, facility needs, and the staff needed to run the program. It's probably devastating for some people. Well, Country Thunder Alberta has canceled its festival, organizers citing city-created safety and operational barriers. The event was scheduled to start Friday up in Calgary. Country Thunder Alberta said in a statement it determined the active construction around the event grounds and new sound limitations made it impossible to stage the event. The decision does not impact Country Thunder Saskatchewan and Craven, which gets underway July 9th. Farm markets, the street price of canola is down 30 cents at $692.75 per ton, while the futures price is down $4.70 to $734 per ton. Amber Durham wheat, $285.20 per ton. Red Spring wheat's down $1.26 to $279.06 per ton. Feed barley, $257.21 per ton, and flax is $630.54 per ton. Those prices courtesy of Bunge and ICE Futures Canada. The markets, the TSX down 191 points. Dow Jones is up 182 points. As for the Canadian dollar, it is down a little more than half a cent to 70.26 cents US. Tough drop there. Commodity front, gold is down 62 cents. West Texas Intermediate crude down $2.87. Western Canadian Select crude is down $1.11. Now it's lower than $60 a barrel. And gas in Regina still haven't seen any movement despite the price of oil coming down. It's $1.65.9 per liter.
It's being called a blowout quarter for Micron, with revenue up 346% year over year. Companies like Amazon and Apple, who are building data centers, can't get enough memory chips. They're in short supply. That led Micron to $41 billion US in revenue for its latest quarter, and the company predicts its next quarter will be even better. Micron's chips are used in everything from phones and cars to computers. Shares of Wendy's spiked today in a new meme-like rally. That's when a stock surges on social media hype. Shares of the fast food retailer were down almost 25% so far this year, until today, when they ended the day up 25%. A new poll commissioned by the Calgary Chamber of Commerce finds about half of its members would consider leaving Alberta if the separation process moves forward. And according to Probe Research, 2/3 say talk of separatism is already negatively impacting their business. An Alberta vote on referendum questions happens in October. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
How many big bangs tonight? Well, you got three.
Are you kidding
We got
me?
a couple big bangs, followed by the Rainmaker at 8 o'clock. The Rebuild inside the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh,
That's an hour. And then Big Bang Theory and E-Talk. So, busy night.
that's a lot. There's a lot happening there.
The Rainmaker. Is that about this weekend?
Might as well be.
Yeah. World Cup fever takes over the country. No surprise. People finding all types of ways to cheer their countries on, including a special art project in Toronto.
It was just very exciting to be able to be American and Canadian and have my work somewhere in Canada for such a large event. So yeah, I was super excited.
So that's Alia Holmes from Ottawa. Her painted beaver statue is one of the more than 50 in downtown Toronto. Most are a nod to the countries competing. Holmes is a dual Canadian-American citizen and was tasked with painting the American beaver statue.
There you go.
I wonder how long it took.
Probably a while, but
Wow.
that reminds me, what was around Regina where they painted a bunch of things, like 6 or 7 or 8? The pigs.
Oh, yeah, the pigs.
Yes.
I mean, they're definitely a talking...
No, they don't talk. They're just statues.
Okay, you know what I was trying to say. In other news, this man set a world record, and he didn't do it quietly.
So this is 58-year-old Joseph McGrail Badup. He's been named the world's loudest man by Guinness World Records. He's an honorary town crier from Canberra, Australia, who shattered a near 3-decade-old record when he stepped into a recording booth and let it rip, hitting an astonishing measured level of 122.4 decibels. That's about the same, he's happy, it's about the same intensity as a jet engine.
What?
So he's an honorary town crier, and he just was able, so he was able to go and, maybe that's something everyone can go try at home now. How loud can you talk? Well, I think that this shows everyone now that you're wrong. I am not the loudest man in the world. But you tell people in the newsroom I am.
Just airing out dirty laundry for everyone to see. He is, in fact, the loudest in the newsroom.
I'm like a mouse. It's quiet.
Nobody believes you. Bye.